Hey guys, welcome to UPLink Online. My name is Ryan, and today we're going to be asking and answering the question, talking about the question, what is worship? And I think this is the age-old question that we talk about when we're describing worship and what is it and what does it mean for us. And so within that, we're going to be unpacking just a couple of questions as we walk through this. And the first thing is, what is worship? And kind of the go-to verse for this is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. It's a familiar verse, and it says this: "Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship." So we talk about this verse and we look at a sacrifice. And what does a sacrifice do? A sacrifice gives. And in the context of a sacrifice that is killed on an altar, that sacrifice is giving everything that it has, and it gives everything that it has to the point of death. So we, as living sacrifices, the point of our lives is to give absolutely everything that we have, but not to the point of death. As a living sacrifice, we give everything that we have to the point of life. We are living beings, and as we breathe in and we breathe out, we are to glorify God in everything that we have to the point of life and giving Him that glory. Another thing that we look at is who we worship. We worship a sovereign God, a God who gives and He takes away, and He's powerful and He's big and He's strong, and He can do anything and everything that He wants to and desires to do. 1 John chapter 4, verse 19 says this: "We love because He first loved us." And when we read this verse, we begin to take a look into why we worship. Why are we worshiping this holy and sovereign God? We're worshiping Him because He first loved us, because He has given us the greatest gift that has ever been given. And in response to that, we live this living sacrifice type of mentality with everything that we do, because He gave us that love first. So what does worship look like? What does worship look like for us in the context of our lives, in the context of living? And I think for us, maybe the best thing to do is go back to Genesis 1. And if you go back there, the Trinity is having a conversation with itself. And it says, "Let us make man in our image." And so that was the entire purpose. And they set out and God made man. He created us. He created us to look like Him. And He created us, and here's the key, to be a reflection of Him. That everything that we do, everything that we say would be a reflection of the holy God who created us. That when He made us, He had Himself in mind, that we are to look like Him, act like Him. The whole thing about a living sacrifice is that any time this living sacrifice can crawl off the altar, it can do anything that it wants to do. It can say, "I'm going to go worship or put my efforts and my mindset, set my heart on something else." But as we worship, we give everything that we have, and we set our hearts on living for Him in everything that we do. We have this mentality within worship that we're sitting in a service, and it only takes place on the church premises. It only takes place on Sunday nights, Sunday mornings, Wednesday nights, and that's it. And the mentality is within worship, and the mindset that so many people have, including our students, is that when the music stops, worship stops. And the fact is that that's just not true. And obviously we want to begin to develop within our students and in our churches this mindset that worship is a lifestyle. It's not just when the music is taking place, when we're sitting in a service. It's something that happens every moment of every day of our lives. It's not something we take a break from, and it's not even within the context for those of us who think, "Oh yeah, well I live it and I spend time with the Lord every day." It's not even in the context of spending time with the Lord in the morning and closing that Bible and setting it down and going, "Okay, now I can go about the rest of my day." No, this is all a process of keeping God at the center of everything that we do. And when we begin to keep Him at the center, connecting Him to every aspect of our life, what we're achieving is true, real, and authentic worship.